Hello everybody, it's Rachel from the Herbalist Garden. I wanted to start this new podcast so I could share everything with you guys that I am passionate about. This week is going to be on lemon balm, and I will do my best to relay the information that I have on it. I've been studying herbs for 20 plus years. I started out very mildly studying it. I'd be like, oh wow, look, this does this does that. And I just slowly added to my library of things that I would learn about. I started making like things from scratch from very early on. I did kind of back off from that for a while because life, is life. And then when I really started hearing about the things that's in our foods, that's in our medicines from pharmaceuticals, I really honed in, hit hard with learning about all of these herbs, plants, just everything that's in your yard. And I remember I'm not a doctor, so I will give you the information that I actually do usually find on the internet. Usually I get a lot of my information from the NIH.gov website. I get and other government websites like that, just so that you guys know the validity of it, and also just so I can have a good basis that nobody can sit there and say, well, that's just on the internet. Well, no, it's actually a government website, so they know it's there. They just can't maximize on it and profit from it because it's a natural substance and they can't patent it. So I will do my best to tell you about lemon balm today. I love this herb. My daughter and I specifically have been taking it for probably about 5 years on and off. We usually take it if we don't feel well. If we want to lift our moods, if we want to just have a general sense of well-being. I'm going to be reading because my memory is terrible, and I want to get the most accurate information for you. So here we go with lemon balm. So lemon balm is in the mint family, and it is grown. You can grow it from seed. They do sell seeds for lemon balm, but it was originally just all over the United States and Canada, and it's also now all over the world because it's prolific, not just in our gardens, but in the wild as well. So it comes from the genus name. It's a Greek word, Melissa. I didn't know Melissa was a Greek word, but apparently it is, and it means honeybee. So it's actually, the Greek terminology for it is Melissa officinalis, and so you'll hear a lot of people referring to lemon balm as Melissa. Boy, that was a learning curve, because I usually just call them by their standard name, not their Greek or Latin name. I have a hard time with pronunciation sometimes. That one's an easy one. So the distinguishing features of lemon balm is oftentimes it is a heart-shaped serrated leaf. And let's see here. It has a mild lemon fragrance. It is very similar to other things in the mint family, and it has a small white flower when it blooms. Usually blooms from June to September, but it's a heart-ish shape and serrated on the edges of the leaves. Mild lemon scent if you smell it. The flowers again are pale white labial flowers, and they're approximately about 1 inch in size. 1 centimeter in size. And the leaf, it grows. Words. So the flower grows from the axis of the leaf stems, and as I said, it blooms anywhere from June to September, depending on your geographic location. So the leaves grow opposite each other, up and down the stalk stems that are square, because plants in the mint family have square stems. And let's see here. They can have rounded teeth, but usually they're kind of like more serrated. And it's a dark green upper surface of the leaf, and it's sparsely haired a little bit, and has very prominent veins. So that is the identification. Also, it's can grow up to 30 inches high or 80 centimeters tall. So it branches off. It's can get to be a very nice big plant where you can harvest each year. It's a perennial as well, so that's helpful. Comes back each year on its own. I really like perennial plants because then I don't have to worry about them for the rest of the year, or to even plant them again the following year. So they have active ingredients. You know, chemists have done their thing. Horticulturists, chemists, scientists have done their thing to figure out what active ingredients are available from lemon balm. So they are flavonoids, terpenes, phenolic compounds such as rosmarinic acid, and nitrogen compounds, which is pretty much present in almost every single plant that grows in the ground because it needs nitrogen to be able to grow. So all those have a purpose. So the benefits of the plant come from the leaves usually. You can use the stems, you can use the flowers. I wouldn't use the roots, they're too small and straggly. They're usually the leaves that are used. So you would take the leaves, you would dry them, or you can use them fresh, and you make them into a tea or a tincture or an oil. Each has a purpose. We usually use it as a tea because we think it tastes pretty good. If we want something more pow of a flavor, then we just add it to a different tea that we like. It doesn't really matter what sort of does. I'll get to that in a second. So, the rosmarinic acid is where the antioxidants and the antimicrobial properties come from. So antioxidants help prevent cell damage in your body, and the antimicrobials kill infection-causing organisms like bacteria and viruses. So it also will help with anxiety. It is a very helpful herb in our house. It helps with insomnia. I can't even imagine having insomnia. I need sleep too badly. I will say that there is one thing, not pharmaceutical, but over-the-counter thing that I take, and that's a low-dose sleeping pill, because this girl comes from a family that has sleeping issues. I don't really understand why. Just some people do, some people don't. I feel bad for insomniacs for sure, because wow, sleep is important. So it will help calm your body down, calm your mind down, so that you can sleep. It is not foolproof because it's low dose of everything. Lemon balm is just a very mild herb. So it can help with cold sores. That's where a tincture or the fresh leaf or an oil would come in handy. So if you take a fresh leaf, you make it into a poultice, chew it up a little bit, and then take the wet, goopy leaf and just stick it on like a cold sore if you have a cold sore. And you would do that periodically until it goes away. I don't know how long it would take. It just depends on how long you've had it, how bad it is, if it's an open wound, blah, blah, blah. But it will help. You could also use a tincture to put on it, on the cold sore, or you can use an oil to put on it. It's not something where I don't get them, so I don't specifically know exactly how long it takes or what would work better, because I've never had one of those. If you know, let me know down below, please. It is lemon balm. It has a substance that will help with milk supply for breastfeeding mothers. So it's called a galactagogue. So that helps with milk supply in breastfeeding mothers. But it also suppresses prolactin, which will also help with engorged breasts for breastfeeding women. You know, if we get mastitis and things are just painful and sore, you can actually put the leaves on, like in the bra, you know, or you can like rub the oil on ya, or you can take it internally. But it's supposed to help with engorged breasts so that the milk supply can come in, and it helps with both. I really wish I would have had this when I was nursing my babies. With my son, it was probably the worst mastitis I'd ever had, and I really would have benefited from lemon balm had I known about it, but I didn't know about it then. That is something that I've learned about within like the last 5 years. It's such a common one, but you know, you only can know about things you learn about. You aren't given knowledge just randomly. I mean, I guess there are people, psychics and stuff like that, but you know, that's if you go with that kind of stuff. So, it's an antispasmodic. So, say you have something spasming in your body, eye, whatever. You put it on your eyes. You put it on muscles. It's going to relax. All that kind of stuff. I would say the oils, maybe the tinctures, not so much the fresh herb. But if you really want to just use a fresh herb, by all means. I ain't judging you. You do what you gotta do, boo. So it's a nervine, which also is, as I explained, it helps calm the nerves. It's so aromatic, great for well-being. Anytime my daughter says that she's not feeling well, I say, go drink lemon balm tea. And she's always like, I feel better now. It really just kind of like calms your whole body and your mind. Just love this herb. It's really one of my favorites. I have quite a few favorites. You'll hear me say that often. So, there are some interactions and some side effects. I can say that as much as we have this in our house, which is, you know, it's still moderation. Moderation is the goal. Everything in moderation. Don't overdo. You can underdo whatever you want, but never overdo anything. Like, don't have the tea like as an iced tea and just drink it all day long, every day for an entire summer. I would never recommend that for anybody, because of any potential side effects or interactions. We'll discuss them. So, I don't believe that I've ever seen anybody have an adverse reaction to lemon balm. I digress. Lemon balm side effects could be headache, nausea, bloating, gas, vomiting, indigestion, dizziness, stomach pain, anxiety, and agitation. So anything beyond moderation could be bad for us. I mean, water, even water in excess can deplete your body and make you sick. So everything in moderation. That's just what it is. Everything in moderation. So lemon balm will make you sleepy. So it's a good for like right before you go to bed type tea. I guess the tinctures in the oil might make you sleepy too, as it gets into your bloodstream. But I know for certain about the tea specifically, it just relaxes you so much, it helps you sleep. So, again, it's saying that lemon balm may make you feel sleepy and calm. The effect is more intense if you use it with alcohol. So, if you got a drink and you're taking lemon balm as well, so I guess that lemon balm infused wine, beer, whatever. I don't know anybody who's done that. I just don't. Those would make it act like a sedative. So I like Formulations. And if you want a sleep help, which is something I'm going to be working on because I finally have all those herbs to be able to create the formulation so that I can hopefully maybe get off my over-the-counter sleeping pill. I would really, really like to get off of that because as benign as it seems, it's still adding chemicals into my body that I really don't want. I had to go and let my cat in because she was not being patient and making a lot of noise at the door. Okay, I'm back. Lemon balm. So, formulations. So if you mix lemon balm with, say, valerian root, or you mix it with St. John's wort, or chamomile, it's going to add more of a sedative quality to it. And it's supposed to help you sleep, even more so. I am going to try it out. I've been trying to not take my sleeping pill as often, but I need to sleep. I have to sleep. That's the one thing I can't figure out. I'm working on it. So I'm going to try even putting all 3 of those together. 4 of those. I said 4 things. To try to get myself to wean myself off of this over-the-counter sleeping pill. It's a low dose, but still I don't want to be on it. It will also kind of not interact, but specifically exacerbate the calming effect of it if you take it with a sleeping pill, like a prescribed sleeping pill or an over-the-counter sleeping pill. So let me just tell you, when I have taken my OTC and had the lemon balm, I'll sleep like a baby. But I don't want to take the OTC. I want to get off of it. So lemon balm could actually interact with 2 different medications. So the one is a glaucoma medication. I don't know much about glaucoma to be able to say, hey, yes, it will interact. I do know that I know one person who, before I knew, I feel really bad about it because they're not going to be happy that I did it. But obviously they're fine, so it's not a big deal. And, as I said, everything in moderation, and she barely uses this. My rooster's on the back porch. She barely uses the lemon balm that I gave her. But she's on Synthroid, and it's supposed to lessen the effects of your thyroid medication. I have not seen that is the case for her, but as I said, she barely uses her lemon balm at all. I've mentioned it to her a couple times, and she's like, but I don't feel any different. Well, she's on a lot of medications too. And I think that when we have medications in our system, I understand. I am not judging anybody who takes their medication. Let me make that perfectly clear. I am not judging anybody who takes medication, anybody who has different convictions than mine. I'm really not judging it at all. But I can say, that I think that if you are taking multiple prescription medications, it alters our bodies so much that the herbs may not work the same as they would if you were living holistically. So I have seen that in multiple people, that it just doesn't react in the body the same. It doesn't have an opportunity to get to the root of things, because usually the medications are blocking those kind of things. I said it. I could be wrong. I could be right. This is just my personal experience observation. But that doesn't mean that it still can't work for you. If you take a medication, it just means that it may not work the same for you. So, but either way, the interactions are supposed to be thyroid medication and glaucoma medication. I have not seen that be a thing. I really haven't. And besides, moderation. Everything in moderation. So as I said, it can be taken as a tea, a tincture, or an oil. And we take it specifically as a tea in this house. I think it tastes good. If we want an extra punch of flavor, then we add, say, raspberry tea to it or something. We usually only make it a hot tea, but it can be done as an iced tea. I mean, I don't see why not. It's just single serve. You make your hot tea, so because you have to steep it for the 15 minutes, covered is best. And then you add ice to it. Boom, you have iced tea. It doesn't always have to be a hot tea, especially in the summer. Oh my goodness. Let's not go there. Hot tea in the summer, for me, is an odd thing. Hot coffee? Oh no, it's still coffee. What do you guys think of coffee? I know that there are some people who are like, oh my gosh, coffee is just so bad for our systems. There's antioxidants in it. It's all the other things we put in the coffee that aren't very good for us. So, I won't even go there. That's for another day. That's not something I'm going into right now. Either way, hot tea, add ice, boom, you have iced tea. And you don't have to have a lot. I mean, just a little bit. If you make it like an extra strong tea, you don't have to have a lot of it. Just put it in a shot glass. You got it. As long as it's not too hot, don't want to burn your mouth, don't want to burn your throat. You're good. Storage. We're going to talk about storage for lemon balm. I personally found a lot of lemon balm at a discount grocer nearby. Well, it's an hour away, but nearby-ish in comparison to possibly where you live. They were, I want to say they were 5-pound bags. They were huge, huge bags, full to the max of lemon balm. I snatched up all but like 2, so just in case somebody else wanted them, I left them for them. And vacuum sealed them in glass jars, and they are sitting in a cool, dry area. And I've tapped into a couple of them, and it's been over a year since I put them there. So they say that only stores for a year. I'm sorry, they're in still good condition. I think as long as your conditions stay where they're supposed to be, cool, dry, vacuum sealed, I don't see that they can't store for even longer. There's an option to freeze dry these as well. You would also vacuum seal, Mylar bag seal with the oxygen absorbers in them. They are freeze drying will keep it for 50 plus years. I mean, that's an option if you can afford and get a freeze dryer. Thankfully, I have one. Also, the other option for storing it is in the freezer. You can freeze them. You freeze them in either distilled water or filtered water, or you can put it in olive oil. Ice cube trays are the best. Add your dried herb in there, fresh. I guess you could, but it would take longer to freeze. I would say dried, personally. But put your dried herb into the ice cube trays, add your filtered water, your distilled water, or like say olive oil. You could add avocado oil. You could put it in coconut oil, I guess. Does coconut oil freeze well? I've never actually done it before. Ideally it would. But it can, then you crack it out of the, once it's frozen, you crack it out of the ice cube trays and you put it into, sorry cat. You put it into freezer bags in the ice cube shapes, and it stores for up to 6 months, it says. I would personally think longer, because I think freezer stuff stores longer as long as the temperature stays even. But I'm telling you what I found. So a lot of the, I can't remember if I told you or not, a lot of the information that I find on these herbs that I'm relaying to you come from NIH.gov. They acknowledge the existence, the benefits, the uses, potential adverse side effects, but they can't patent it. So it's real information. I'm not making this up. I didn't hear this from a woo-woo person, doctor. Functional doctors prescribe it. I wouldn't say that it's a standard prescribed unless somebody specifically likes it. So don't look for a doctor's advice being to take lemon balm. But that doesn't mean that it isn't useful. It is so mild that it is useful for pretty much everybody. If you are worried about side effects, then don't take it. It is completely and entirely up to you. Nobody's forcing you to take anything. Nobody's forcing you to believe anything. I am simply relaying information that I have learned and that I'm passionate about. I'm going to talk about elderberry next week in my next video. I don't know if it's going to be next week or when it's actually going to be. I haven't decided exactly on the frequency of my updates, my podcasts, but I would definitely appreciate your support, subscribes and likes, comments. Let's keep it all positive, and if you have something negative to say, you don't have to watch me. You don't have to agree with me. Let's just keep it all positive, okay? Everything positive, because that adds to our well-being as well. Self-care, that's all we're about. So, you can also find me on Facebook at the Herbalist Garden. I have a group there, and I appreciate those who came over to the podcast from the Herbalist Garden. We have a great bunch of people, and I've really, really learned a lot from each and every one of them that have participated. I didn't even know some things existed, because you can't know everything. That's why we build a community. So we learn together. That is my motto. We learn together. Nobody knows everything. Nobody can know everything. They can know a lot. They can have had a lot of experiences, but you just can't know everything. So it is best to build community and learn from each other. I've really, really enjoyed the way that my group has grown and flourished. I hope it keeps on growing. I post in there daily, well, every day of the week. I still gotta put my post in for today. I got an herb of the week today. I gotta post it. I'm gonna post about lemon balm. Look at that! Idea of the century. You will have to ignore my background. I don't have a lot of room in my house right now. We are building an addition. And then we'll have some more room. And it is hard to find time where I'm by myself. So I really probably could have videoed this last week and I just didn't get an opportunity to. So I will update and post as I can. I definitely at least want to do it weekly. If you would be interested in a specific herb, let me know. If you find value in a different topic, like herbs and gardening, then we could work on that. I'll take some suggestions. I'll take advice, constructive criticism, because this is my very first official podcast ever. So I really, I'm doing my best. This is out of my comfort zone. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while because I'm so passionate about it, but it's really not in my comfort zone. If you know me in person, you know I don't look at people straight in the eye very often. When I talk, I'm, as you've seen, all over the place. But the one thing that I've learned in life is to be yourself, and you'll find the right people who like you and who want to be around you and help you grow and support you. It's not something that, at my age, let's put it this way, I've learned a lot. And there's still so much more to learn. I will never claim to know everything, unless it's like a finite topic or something. You get it. I appreciate everybody here. Thank you for learning with me today. I look forward to your comments and constructive criticism down below. I will hope to see you again soon. Thank you.